A very good evening to everyone. So myself, Dr. Venkat Nayak. So I'm a trainer for the Python full stack. So today I'm giving a demonstration about a Python full stack. What exactly you going to learn in entire the 6 months of duration. Basically, we are from the Go Online Trainings, which is 20 plus experienced company where we used to take the classes for online throughout the world, many countries. So far, I might have dealt almost 2 lakhs above students. So our company is having the right mechanism, such as live instructor training is going to happen, and real-time projects are going to be dealt with, and the technical support will be there in order to clear your doubts. And we have a learning management system in order to listen the classes which recorded, and as well as the materials assignments from the learning management system. So these are the facilities are going to be provided from our end if we learn this particular course. Okay, and apart from this, we used to give job assistance too. Okay, yeah. If we look at our scenarios, so far we have placed many people with the best packages such as 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs, 15 lakhs. Likewise, depends on the technology such as an AI/ML and Python full stack. So we used to be placed in this particular company so far. Apart from, there are many other startup companies also we have placed. So please kindly, you guys are aware much more better about all this particular company, right? Yeah. So firstly, we must understand why we supposed to learn the programming languages. Either can be a Java, it can be a Python, it can be a R, it can be a C sharp, it can be programming language. Firstly, we have to understand what is the need of the learning programming language. Learn the programming language, what are the best advantages we supposed to understand. So let us understand now. Firstly, I am telling you that there will be a particular task wherein problem solving. So problem solving is nothing but nowadays, there are complex problems are there. Be able to perform them just like that. So human capabilities are probably very negligible. So the large problems also can be able to solve by the programming. That's the specialty of that, isn't it? So problems can be feasibly solved. A problem can be optimally solved. So the program is helping us to solve the problem optimistically. Therefore, I think millions of the people are getting used to those services absolutely because of, let's suppose, making a time 10 millions of the people. This is a problem. If you have a payment gateway called as a Phone Pay or Google Pay, 100 millions of the people can be do at a time a digital transaction. That's a problem. But using human being, hardly 10 transaction or 20 transaction cannot be done at a time. That is called as a problem. So such a problems are solving now using programming. It can be Java, it can be C, it can be C++, it can be Python. Okay, this is a one important feature why we're supposed to learn the programming. Okay, innovation. There are many things are existing. Let's suppose, what do you mean by innovation? Innovation means the routine mechanism can be converted into another form, which means we used to have a car with a driver. Now, Tesla car, Elon Musk have a car can be drive without human being. It's an innovation. Clear? There is no programming, there is no AI, there is no Python, there is no databases, there is no data science, there is no machine learning. Probably the innovation might not be possible. To do innovation, programming is going to become a backbone. That's a concept called as an innovation. Clear? Chatbot, driverless cars, so medical recommendations, personalization, Google search, lot of facilities you are getting now as an innovative way, just because of the people are aware about the programming to make the things as an innovative in a proper way. Clear? That's a concept of innovation. Automation, that's very important thing. Now the aeroplane is completely having because of automation. Human just they'll sit and they'll be controlled little bit. Metro can also be highly automated, driverless metro, isn't it? Like if you go to manufacturing unit like Mercedes Benz, BMW, Volkswagen, these are all companies are completely automated to make the things to be organized. Very less number of human being is going to be involved in that. That's called as an automation, because wherever the routine tasks are doing, the programming helping us to be make it as an automation to not to be involved into a particular process. You might know of AI agentic mechanism. The human resource management like HR positions are going to be replaced by the agentic AI. That's called as an automation process. So likewise, the programming is very important to achieve this kind of things in a better way. That's the reason programming knowledge is mandatory, whatever the era you are living in. Now we are living in generative AI area, but all the generative AI tools are doing their own task, but in background, programming will play 100% role. Are you clear? Yeah. Okay. Let us go ahead. So what is the full stack development? What you going to learn? Let me talk about. It means HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, XML. There will be a lot of things you are going to learn front end part. How exactly web applications are going to be built as a user interface. Backend. The backend is going to be configuration settings are going to be possible with the help of certain programming, backend programming such as a Python, server program. Okay. Databases like they will be called as physical model of the data would be stored by the databases such as MySQL, MongoDB, SQL Server, DB2, AWS, Azure, ServiceNow. There will be a lot of databases you are going to learn GCP to make the data to be hold it in a physical manner. That's you are going to learn as part of that. And deployment is going to happen on a different clouds and on databases too. Okay. And full stack development handles a complete web app lifecycle is going to be handled. So if you want to be survive full stack development knowledge where front end, back end, server and generative AI tools, configuration management, everything you're supposed to have a knowledge, then you will become a full stack developer. Okay. The key skills you are going to learn in entire the 6 months will be the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, frameworks, databases, DevOps tools, many more things. Okay. Yeah. So why we supposed to be choose a Python? Okay. Easy to learn and the code is very syntactically, semantically very easy. It is supports a lot of frameworks such Flash, Heroku, React, Node, Angular, all these frameworks will be associated with. Therefore, the Python is chosen as a framework like a programming to develop the Python full stack applications. And the Python will have a strong community. A lot of built-in packages and modules are developed. Therefore, it will be treated as a robust language. And it supports both the front end as well as back end to be designed by the Python programming language. Okay. If you look at this particular Python full stack architecture, that is supposed to already aware that this is called a browser where the end user is going to be. So if you wanted to develop the front end client related graphical user interface part, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, XML, PHP, there are a lot of things are going to be learned in order to design this particular part. This particular part is going to be request to give the information. What to be request will be go through the HTTP protocol get and post request will go to the framework where the server is holding a Django kind of a frameworks. The request eventually Django will be completely configured as an MVT which is an MVT, model view template, model view model, are going to be organized by the Django framework by configuring the Python in order to interact with the backend part. This part is called as a backend part. So being you should have a knowledge about front end, you should have a knowledge about the server, you should have a knowledge about backend. So backend, PostgreSQL, MySQL, Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, Firebase, GCP, Azure, all these you're supposed to be learned. I'll be dealt with minimum 6 to 7 databases, 3 4 clouds to be demonstrated with all the hands-on projects with the respect of the full stack applications. Just you require the enthusiasm to learn that. This is a brief architecture will be exactly a Python full stack. Okay, right. Let's go ahead. Let us understand what best features provided by the Python such a way that we took this particular language as to be a development full stack applications. Okay, the Python is very easy to learn. I already told you that similar to the natural language processing, like natural language like an English. Everybody can be able to learn very just like that, very easily. Therefore, we chosen the Python as a program. And Python is said to be a portable language because if you write a program or software on a one particular platform, you can run anywhere else. You can download anywhere else, irrespective of the configuration of the target mission. Such a code is getting generated by the Python programming interpreter. Hence, we can call it as a portable programming language. Okay. And Python is a scalable, which means its ability having an expander whenever the number of users are increased for the applications. And the Python has a lot of ecosystem of the libraries provided for the data science, for the IoT, for embedded system, for the natural language processing, for the deep learning, for the generative AI tools. A lot of ecosystem of the libraries are built in provided. Just you have an ability to utilize them wherever the purpose you have. That's the purpose is provided by the Python. And the Python is having a strong community support. I think we can able to get the lot of support from the enterprise common man. Okay. And Python will be provide a cross platform compatibility. It is able to communicate business to business and business to consumer communication with respect to distributed in nature of the applications. Hence, we can call it as a cross-platform compatibility is provided by Python program. And Python will be provided graphical user designed to be applied the remote or standalone applications using a tkinter. It also develop the worldwide applications called as a www server applications and client server distributed applications. Okay. And the Python will be support all the databases to be communicate with the help of a third party drivers. Okay. And it will be support all the clouds such as hundreds of the clouds such as the software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service as a cloud. The Python is having a communication will be takes place. And apart from the Java, Python is also having a garbage collection facility or mechanism when the developer will write unnecessary lines of the code. The garbage collector will be automatically collects it and frees it corresponding memory written to the operating system. That facility is also be provided by the Python. Okay. If you learn this particular Python full stack, what are the job roles you're gonna get in the industry? You can become a Python developer, you can web developer, you can become a DevOps engineer, you will become an automation engineer, and you will be these are the major designations you're gonna get. You learn thorough this particular course. Okay. Front-end technologies, you are going to learn HTML, hypertext markup language, and the cascading style sheets, and JavaScript for the validation of the client, and frameworks such as React.js, Django, all this. There will be backend technologies called as a Django framework and Flash, Heroku, APIs, application programming interface, authentications, all this. Now, you will be SQL, MongoDB, CRUD operations, Firebase Cloud, PostgreSQL, MS SQL, and other clouds. These are all you are going to learn. Very specific things I have specified here. Okay. And API development is also communication is required between application to application communication, wherein RESTful API using Django you are going to learn, and JSON data access how will be takes place between two applications will be learned, and API authentication and testing API with a request get method, put method, patch method, delete method, all this. And are going to learn to be developed with Python development applications such as a PyCharm. It is a community edition available as well as a licensed edition available. Ideally is open source for Python applications to be developed. Colab and Jupyter are the applications where cloud computing applications to be run are Python applications. Git, GitHub and virtual environments you are going to learn in order to pipeline the programs at real time. And if it comes to the deployment, after the completion of the application does, you're supposed to be deploy where exactly will be deploy the application on a AWS server or Heroku, or maybe there will be a spelling mistake in this. Kender is the another application, and Docker containerization, which is one more containerization related DevOps tool with which application can be deployed. And NGINX is useful for the Django, and CI/CD pipelines will be, yeah, you are going to learn. Clear? So I hope, I think already aware about all this. I think Narendra must know all this are part of your full stack development is supposed to learn them. Okay. So the project workflow absolutely. So create a front end part first. If you want to do a project, then we support the set up the Python backend with Django, all these frameworks, then connect with a respective database, and then you have to integrate front end and back end. Then it will become a absolutely it is a project and will be deployed to the cloud so that the communication will be exactly provides a service like a web application. This is the project workflow is going to be takes place. So these are all things, different modules. Is supposed to be learn individual things and we will be able to connect each other. Okay. And then obviously once the actual sessions would start, the various integrated development environments, setups, all these will be get installed. So you need not to worry about it. So I request, so whoever the participants are listening the class, please Sainath and Narendra Babu, please, in the chat box, Sarah shared one particular form, kindly fill it now. So,
Okay.
yeah. This is the brief discussion about a Python full stack, what you're going to learn in entire the 5 months of the duration. So if you have any questions, you can able to ask, and then kindly fill this particular form so that, obviously I could be able to conclude the session accordingly. And if you have any questions, you can ask me accordingly.
Okay. How money? How much?